Hello everyone. Surprise, I'm not live tonight. I had a technique club that I belong to that my friend Kay does. She had to move it to Wednesday night, so I wasn't able to be here live with you, but I wanted to still share a video with you, so I'm pre-recorded this so you can still have something to watch tonight. So this week, I'm still battling my cold, so I will try not to cough, but no promises again. This week I have been sharing the Inked and Tiled bundle, and it's a stamp set and then a pair of punches. It's hard to show them that way. Sometimes I think it's easier to show them this way. And then there is a set of 6x6 designer series paper that goes with it, and you can tell I have been playing, but it's really pretty colors. Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Lost Lagoon, Crushed Curry. Let's see, am I missing anything? I'll look on the back here in a minute. Some nice plaids too. You can always tell what colors are in your designer series paper here on the back. Pool Party, that was the other one I missed, Pool Party. So we are going to make this card. You will be able to find, after you watch this video, my blog will have the measurements for everything I used on this in case you want to recreate it. I will also tell you, this is the card that we made last week, and I will tell you who won that. So next week, somebody will win this card. And I think that's all the paperwork beforehand, so let's get creating. So with this stamp set, I'm using this image, and it's, you know, leaves and flowers, and so sometimes you might want them to be two different colors like I did here. And so the way I did that, I'm using Lost Lagoon and Calypso Coral, so I'm just going to open both of those up. And then I have sponge daubers. So I'll just take the Lost Lagoon and sponge it on there. And then the Calypso Coral and sponge it on the flowers. And you can do this with a marker also. I like this. I've seen people doing it with the sponge daubers lately, and I really do like the way that looks. And then right before you stamp it, you huff on it. And that just re-moistens it. And then you just stamp it on a scratch piece of paper. I'm using Very Vanilla today. And there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? That is the background to this designer series paper. And I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to stamp this on the insert. So let's ink this up again. And I probably didn't need to ink that whole stem because we won't probably make it go that far up. Let's see. Just a little something for the inside. And that way you still have room for a sentiment or to write something. Now I forgot to do this for my inside, so while I have this, I'm going to go ahead and do another inside. And if I didn't, I think I did mention it, somebody will win this card next week. All right. Here we go. Now I have an inside for my card too. All right. Let me see. Remember what else I need to stamp. Okay. So we're done with the Lost Lagoon. I'm going to set that aside. You would just clean this like you do any other time with your Stampin' Scrub or your the other one, the one that I use all the time. This, which I have forgotten. what it's called at the moment. And just clean it like any other way. You might have to pick it up and get down in there. Since you have that sponge, it's liable to get down in the little crevices, but that's all you have to do to clean it, just like you would any other time. And I have another scrap piece of paper. This is very vanilla again. And I'm trying to think how I want to stamp this. Well, we may have to end up cutting off a corner. So I'm going to use this kind of X stamp. And there we go. And I want to punch it so that that lots of love is just going across one of the arms of the X. All right, and then we'll take our scissors. I forgot to grab them. And just cut off the other ends of that X, and then it's just a nice little sentiment. All right, and then one last thing to stamp. Whoops. Make sure I have my grass running up this time. I think on mine they're going upside down. I don't think anybody will notice, but I'll make sure I do them right on the card I'm going to give you. So this is crushed curry, and this is a crushed curry designer series paper. And I just wanted to say, I found this on the web. I don't know why he thinks I'm talking to him sometimes. So just a couple of leaves in the background just for some added interest. All right, that is all of our stamping. Set that aside. Now we have to fussy cut this little guy. There aren't any dies to go with him, but I didn't want him just on a big square or anything. I wanted him cut out. So we'll just take a minute. Sometimes you have to get rid of some of this extra so it's a little easier. And you'll notice I am turning my paper and not my scissors. Just makes for a better cut. Go a little far away. And when I first did this, I didn't cut down between the two flowers. And then I decided I didn't like that as well. So I went back and cut in between them. Oops. Got a little close there. And you want to leave some border around the stamped image. What that does is, if you don't cut it perfectly, which I'm sure I won't be, your eye will just see the stamped image and won't even notice that the cutting is not perfect. And then I decided that I wanted to tie a ribbon around this too, so that made it better to have it cut apart like that, so I could tie a ribbon. So this whole suite comes with the stamp set. I'll find that page in the catalog here in a minute. The stamp set, the 2 punches, the designer series paper, and the ribbon that we're going to use. So you can order that all with one number, which I love that Stampin' Up! Has done that. Makes it easier. You don't have to go find all the separate pieces and order them separately. All right. We are almost done. There. Get all that out of the way. Now we are ready to put our card together. So I punched out of some of the designer series paper 3 of these, I call them X's. So that's the Calypso Coral that we used there. And what I did is I put them, I wanted them to cover up the bottom of those so it looked like the leaves were growing out of them. I just kind of laid them out about where I wanted them, and then I just started gluing them. So just a little bit of green glue. I have a brand new green glue, so it comes out very, very easily. I have to be careful. I think that one should actually go that way. Oh, I say that and now it's not coming out. There we go. Uh-oh. Try not to do that. There we go. And then we have, so this is the ribbon that comes with the suite, and it's Lost Lagoon. And I just tied a little piece around this one stem. And I just tied it once. So I didn't try and tie it twice. Come here. You know, it's impossible to tie anything on camera. All right, now I can trim that a little bit more. This one, for whatever reason, decided to go kind of wonky on me, but that's okay. All right. Let's put the rest of this together. Here's our card base. This is Calypso Coral, which is why I wanted to have something for the inside. This is a little bit dark to write on. You can do it, but you know, this is probably not going to last because you can see the red is there and it's almost out. We'll put this on the front. And this on the inside. Whew, we made it. I can't believe that. Now, if you don't want to write much in here, you could always put your flower up more, have even less space. All right. And then this guy I want to put on with dimensionals. So I have, this is actually the end of a sheet of mini dimensionals, and I've just cut them apart on the edge. So don't ever throw away any of your edges. They work just fine. And just cut them apart. You can also use them, if you have a long strip that you want to put up, you can just cut a whole side and use it. Let's put, oh, I got an extra one. Let's put one down here. I don't think we need that one. We'll save it for something else. Oops. This guy. Just going to sit like that. And then on this, I just added a little bit of green glue on my flower stem. And then just put that over it. Like that. Whoops. You have to leave it a minute so it can set. And that's it. There's our card. And I have a few more to show you, but let me show you this in the catalog. Let me find it real quick so you can see it all together and we can see what the price is, because I don't remember for the whole thing. Here it is. So there's their examples. There's everything, the punches, and then the paper, the ribbon. And so if you want the whole thing, all of that, it's $80.75. So that's for a stamp set, 2 punches, designer series paper, and ribbon, which is really the price of everything if you buy the bundle. So it's not any cheaper. It's just easier to put in one number if you want it all. And then you do save 10% if you bundle the stamp set and the punches. All right. Let me show you a few other cards that I made with this. So I wanted to use this for a swap that I'm doing for this next weekend. And this was the first card I came up with. And I wasn't happy with it. And now I think I know part of the reason I wasn't. Because I used white. And the background is very vanilla. So I used basic white. And if I'd used very vanilla, it probably would have blended much better. This one, I still use the white. But this is what I ended up with for my swap. But I didn't try and do so many colors. I didn't try and use the multicolored designer series paper. And so I like that much better. So that's my swap. And then here are a few more. This, I think, is my favorite designer series paper from the set. Just these flowers, and I added a few butterflies to it. This time I used very vanilla. It looks much better. And then I wanted to try a monochromatic one. So this is Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, a couple of pieces of designer series paper, and then some gems that carried over. And then the last one, I stamped those same flowers, but I just stamped them all in one color. And then I embossed this background, some more designer series paper and ribbon. And that's it. Pretty simple. So that is the inked and tiled bundle. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, you'll be able to find the measurements on my blog shortly after this goes on. So shortly after this Facebook post comes up. And, oh, I forgot to tell you who won the card from last week. So this is the card we made last week with the Zany Zoo, and Betty won that. So I will get that to Betty. All right, thank you so much for joining me. And as far as I know, I should be live next week. So I will see you then. Bye.